Yeah, I was told to curse. You know what I mean? I was told that it sounded hard to chop off this and that
Mm,
because I was told because I thought that we could hold enough without even having to use some of it. I mean, I don't care about it if you could if you do it, you do it. But
mm,
I remember I came in just to be push forth lyrics
yeah.
and guide my sword the way I got it. But I'm listening too because I'm a listener. If you tell me, yo, just say it like this, I'm gonna get the track over. I'll say it that way. You know what I'm saying? The head comes off anyway. So, but I think it's
Wow.
more deeper if they see the sword and you don't have to swing it. But they
Right.
understand, you can run and let them get away or you can follow them to
Wow.
where they at. So I figure, okay, let them come in and they see what it is. And you can show the
Wow.
sword without swinging
Wow, that sounds like the code of the samurai, right? Like the code of Bushido, right?
it.
Right.
There you
Right.
go.
Um,
There you
there
go.
was the samurai. I think like when you listen to Liquid Sword, you hear pieces of the code of Bushido, and basically what you're saying. It's a book I read one time where it talked about this Japanese art. It's called, I think I'm pronouncing it like it's Sumi art, and that's when you see like black and white, where the canvas is white and then they use black, right? They use black, only black paint. But the interesting thing about it is, if you are a master of this art, you can use black paint and paint a red apple, and you're going to see the color. That's how masterful it is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Wow.
you only can use black paint. So, how can you give the impression that that's a red apple? That's the mastery of the painter. And I think that's what I get from you. Like if you saying, I mean, you take the round where you want it to go, but like if you're able to, they said that when you need to add color into it, it just shows the level of inefficiency.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Wow.
you're a novice, right? So if you
Mm.
can stay within those realms and you don't have to step. I notice if you're in conceptually, you will stay into something, and I won't really hear the easy street talk stuff, right? You stay on the subject, which is to me is difficult to do to paint that picture. I'll hear somebody on a subject matter, right? Not going to say any MC's name, but and I'll see how much you drift bar for bar
Yep.
on subject. And the reason it's only two ways you gonna drift. You will drift because you really can't write like that, or you don't know the subject matter well enough. See? You know how I am,
Abstract.
Priest.
Of
And
course.
and
Of
and the
course,
gods is built on what it means to be profane. That's the
Yeah,
evidence.
yeah,
That's the evidence of what it means to be profane. So to
yeah.
use profanity means that you have went outside of the scope and
Mm.
you're truly uninvolved in what's going on there. Like you don't you're not worthy enough to be in that place. So you're profane in that manner, right? It
Mm,
shows your adolescence in that.
Yeah.
It shows your adolescence. So for you to remark in that manner, that means that you've been marked in that same manner that you're talking about, right? So
yeah.
now I only see you in this way. I gave you an opportunity to present
Mm.
yourself properly,
Mm.
but
Right.
you
Mm.
presented yourself profane. So now I can only see you as profane, right?
Mm,
So Dave, you did a beautiful video, right? When you was like, yo, you were listening to one of the Royal Priests of Wednesdays or something
That's
like
right.
that.
Yeah.
When I was speaking about if your favorite artist in your time, we got this top five dead or alive that we go
Right.
back and forth about, blah blah blah.
That's right.
If they aren't calling to you to be better, if you got the same drug bars, degenerate bars that you had 30 years ago,
Right.
Right.
30 years later,
Mm-hmm.
there's no proof. You're still profane.
Yep.
You're still a profane that we would
yeah.
look at outside of the subsect of society. So this thing about is that you're professing to have your propensity towards profanity precludes you from you. So if you got this in your top five dead or alive, that's you, right? But if your
Yeah.
favorite artists or artists are calling you out of those profane spaces, and one
Mm.
of the things that I love about you, Priest, is that you consider your audience, but you consider your audience in their best manner.
Mm.
So whether they got to do some research, whether they got to go build, whether they got to travel, whatever the case may be, they rise to the occasion. You don't say, "Hey, I'm dumbing it down for my audience." Nah.
I think he has some of the smartest, fans, because I've been on a few of the people that have dropped albums. I've been on a few of the little platforms that they had, and to listen to them fan out, and repeat lyrics back to the artist and actually not even know what it is, right? I'm used to seeing the podcast where people are informed. I told Priest many times, he's like the Black Art Bell, Coast to Coast AM, where they had a lot of, I think it's still on. It's like metaphysical, like everybody was on. Priest have everybody on, and but I saw something, and it told me about how much the MC really educated their fans, but their fans is on some hip hop, but dumb, right? And where Priest seems like, I saw him when he was building up the Podcraft, and I was like, it wasn't even called a Podcraft then. Yep. He was just trying to feel it out. And seeing him build that, and he deserved that, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the if you want to say he's not a B artist from the Wu. I mean, like, think about this, right? This ain't nothing I ain't never told him, but like, do you really go, oh yeah, that Wu-Tang nigga, right? No. That's how prolific he is, to where that's the afterthought. Yep. That W is great, but that's not the weight that it's hold. Like, he really is, like, he got that. You know what I'm saying? And MCs know that too. They move a certain way. Everybody, it's like with KRS-One. Everybody, people talk. Now, I remember Chuck D was saying that, I know who y'all think is the best and who your top 5 is. He said, but I've been in the room where people who had the #1 hit, #1 song on the radio, and when KRS-One would come in, they get quiet, because KRS-One is the kind of person to tell you, hey, let's battle to see who's gonna headline tonight. Like, that's real. That's not a bar. Yeah, and right. You would get embarrassed.
Yeah. Straight up.
I think there's a Wu story where I think
I was
went
there.
on after. KRS-One, like, that's not.
It's embarrassing. You never
really,
do that.
Really do it. I be asking Priest like that time, like, man, we'll be looking at somebody's music, or I'll send something, and I'm like, what you think? And he's always so, like, humble about it, like, not like, that he whack or whatever, encouraging. Right, even though he know what he does, right? I be waiting to see if he's gonna get arrogant. He need that for the mic, right? God bless it. God bless it, right? I be like, he's like, nah, dude is good. I like dude, right? Yeah. But it's like, they know what it is. I'm gonna tell y'all a story. Priest probably don't mind me telling y'all this. Priest was in Austin, and he played me this track. I don't think he ever put out this track, but it was like, it had this cathedral music to it. And he was like, yeah. And I heard a bar. I never forgot it. He was using the word planet, and he was like, playing it. It was like, it was so dope. This was like, I don't know, it's at least 10 years ago. And he said, yeah, that's for me and Rakim. And I said, so you sent that verse that you got right there with Rakim? He said, yeah. I said, Rakim ain't getting on that. Rakim ain't getting on that. I'm dead. He didn't say that. I'm telling you. Right. Rakim ain't finna get on that with you. He is not. He won't do that.
Wow.
He's not gonna do that. Why? Nope. And but the point is, like, to be in the presence of people that really do it. Think about this. I said this before, I think, on the podcast. Nas, they have 2 tracks together. Why would Nas do a track with Priest? I mean, there's a lot of people that's dope, but particularly Priest. Nas don't have a big catalog of a lot of features, especially back then. He might do something now, but Nas don't have that. But so all those Wu members, and Nas has a track with Priest, right? A real writer, when you really, really do it, it's not about, everybody know, record sale, that's a machine, but do you really have it, right? To be able to know you really have that, right? Like, that's not manufactured in the studio. And I looked to see if Priest was writing all his rhymes. You know what I'm saying? I told you that he gave me this video to post up on Facebook, and it was him at Full Disciple Studio. And I'm looking for the book. I said, ain't no way this shit ain't coming from, because the vocabulary alone. I think someone said it when the Braxton 2 first dropped. Have you noticed that it doesn't seem like his lyrics are stopping? He's he's lyrical, but it doesn't really describe what it is, and it doesn't appear like it's like slowing down. MCs start to lose it after a while. They lose that track. It just seems like, it's just another day of this, right?
Another day at the office.
Yeah.
Right.
And something new. And conceptually, lyrically, vocabulary, something new. That is very difficult to do.
Yep.